of wearing one for decent periods of time for no real reason. After a burst of submissions, his account became mostly inactive during 2022, but he made a major return to Reddit the next year on the subreddit r/trans. Here, he says that he, a 15-year-old at this point, was about to begin his gender transition. He says he is terrified of needles and looking for HRT alternatives that don't involve them. This marked a sudden change in his posting frequency and the themes he spoke about, which now were mostly related to the topic of transgenderism. How do I avoid losing my libido once I start HRT? Do I have a good build for HRT? First time trying makeup. Many of these posts also had images attached, most of which are lost to time. But one of them that was maintained was a post to the sub r/transguns, where he shows himself shooting a Desert Eagle. While at this point, Jesse was definitely out of the norm for posters on Reddit, he still had yet to say anything super concerning. That would change once he became more open about his drug use. He made one post to r/rational psychonaut, which is a community dedicated to the discussion of, quote, altered states of consciousness, which, to be more specific, is a group that talks about psychedelics. The post is titled, I went crazy and burned my house down my second time trying shrooms, but still have a desire to try alternatives. Here is what the body of the post says. Hi, I'm gonna keep this brief. It's 4 a.m., got out of the psych ward like a month ago, and now I'm here. I'm not schizophrenic, unlikely to be bipolar. Diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, major depressive disorder, antisocial disorder, and obsessive compulsive disorder. I tried shrooms once. It was a small, unmeasured dose, and it was chill. The second time I took it, I took 3 grams of blue meanie ground up into some peanut butter and had a complete break from reality and did a lot of irrational things. I felt like I was dreaming. Many consequences ensued. Now thinking about extreme harm reduction measures, considering restraints and low doses of DMT to test the waters.
This one's a little pissing me off.
Choice, as it doesn't last long. A sitter can for sure watch me if I am unable to escape their sight. Probably won't have the energy to anyways. I don't know, kinda high right now and just typing out some stuff. Please give input, anything helps. Just wanting to go all out on harm reduction for my experimenting. I am almost at a loss for words for how much of a red flag this is. For the unaware, DMT is an extremely powerful hallucinogen. Among people who have used it, it's known for its intensity, causing visual hallucinations, ego.
Damn, that's pretty much a perfect place too, but it's a little too high.
Some spiritual figure while on the drug.
I hate doing these stickers because I'm such a perfectionist about them.
Jesse's interest in this substance is extremely concerning, considering that according to him, doing psychedelic mushrooms, which are much less powerful than DMT, caused him to burn his house down. Clearly, this is not someone who is very
I think that's it. That's the best it's gonna get.
Jesse is saying all of this to Reddit while high and being fresh
Best
out of
it's
the
gonna
mental
get. Those borders are crisp.
It was a fully intentional fire, which led most users in the subreddit to simply tell him that he shouldn't do psychedelics anymore.
Where are the rest of these?
Now, it appears that Jesse's reason for doing these substances
1 second, I'll be right back.
I do not view psychedelics as
Alrighty,
just hoping to
we
experience
got
something
the
positive
little
in my life. To which another user,
for this
said, I think
shoulder.
that might be something you should search for organically for a while until you're in a better place mentally. Psychosis is more likely after it's happened once. Give your brain a break and see a professional, and maybe give them another go when you've got a better headspace to navigate. Unfortunately, he didn't take the
this
advice, partly
one
because, as Jesse explained,
goes on the
another
shoulder.
professional help wasn't helping. As he puts it, I've undergone every single procedure and treatment they have. ECT, meds, all of it. The next step is ketamine if I don't stabilize on the professional end, speaking to many therapists. Jumping a bit forward here in the timeline, I do want to note that this story about an arson happening was actually confirmed by one of their neighbors. Melanie spoke to the media, saying, a couple of years back,
That's a nice placement also. Yeah, that one looks good.
Completely burnt down. He was just
Looks
sitting out
good.
in the front when the fire trucks arrived. Melanie also said everyone on the street saw the
His
blaze,
other
and that
arm.
most of the inside of the house was destroyed. Given that
Gets
this person
that,
didn't provide any more inside
flamey
information, we
thing.
can probably assume that they are making an assumption that this was an attempt to kill everyone. It is possible it was just a complete mental break from reality, and Jesse didn't grasp the
Ravager
consequences of what was happening or what he was doing.
Simple.
I'm not trying to defend his behavior here. I'm just saying we don't know specifically what was going on inside of his head when this happened. Who knows what he was seeing. But at the same time, this is a clear instance where Jesse should have been given some more serious professional help beyond his
just gonna
treatment.
lay it.
Whatever therapy he was getting and whatever antidepressants he was taking were not enough. Going back to the Reddit thread, Jesse says in the replies that he wasn't even on probation when he was making these posts. While I do understand that he was young when this incident happened, at the same time, normal 15-year-olds do not burn down houses with their family inside them. I'm no doctor, but putting him in some kind of facility long-term
we're gonna try one more time.
Jesse's
Oh,
interest in
yeah, we're gonna
powerful
try
substances
once
continued
more
past
with this one.
points, including in the drug
Not happy with
5-MeO
that.
DMT. While DMT is powerful,
These
the difference
stickers
between
do
that and 5-MeO DMT is like
stick
the difference between
pretty
a normal
well,
guy who goes to
even
the gym
after
and a
you
guy who
pull them
blasts
off
the most powerful steroids
quite a
imaginable.
few times.
5-MeO
So
DMT is known to be
don't be
anywhere from
afraid
4
to
to 20
be a
times more
perfectionist
potent. For
also
example,
and
people who take
get
DMT
them just
describe
right.
hallucinations, like the aforementioned machine
There we
elves,
go.
or seeing a Tool album
That's
cover.
good. That's
Meanwhile,
good.
those who take 5-MeO describe something much more intense, with the most common report being a total whiteout, infinite white light that replaces all of your surroundings, meaning a total break
Throw
from
his other
perception
leg
and
on.
reality itself. Clearly, this is not a drug that Jesse should have been using, and yet his interest persisted. In a post he made to the DMT subreddit, he wrote, "Yo, what's the danger in using 5-MeO DMT alone? Genuinely don't know. Not trying to die."
So the other one we need is these going.
I am on sertraline 280 milligrams, which is an
Face.
SSRI. On
We're
rare
gonna do
occasions,
this
I
big
take
one
2
right
milligrams
here,
of
which is
risperidone
for
sleep
his.
purposes. That's an antipsychotic. I also smoke a decent bit of weed. I had a complete mental break on 3 grams of mushrooms. When this happened, I was on another SSRI and another drug. I'm not able to have a sitter for every dose of DMT, but I am able to have a sitter occasionally. Would 5-MeO need a sitter? Would it interact differently with meds? This post was made a whole month after the one
We'll
where he
just try to
confessed
get
to burning
that
his house down. And yet, his use of these
centered.
extremely powerful substances persisted.
No.
Once again, Reddit users were very forthcoming about the extreme risks of using this drug, saying that it could lead to respiratory failure
That was
and
a
death by overdose.
accidental
But this was clearly
stick,
not
but
a
actually
concern
was
for
pretty
Jesse,
good.
as he had already ignored all the previous warnings about the risks of DMT and proceeded to take it anyway. And now
These
he was
light
looking to take
colors,
the
though,
route
I'm
at
just
risk of
really
psychedelics.
picky.
According to another post, he was also a frequent pot user at this point in time. In
I
any
think
other
that's
circumstance and
that's
coming
good.
from any other person, this is
Yeah,
not something
that's
I would
gonna
say
be a
is
good
out of the ordinary
placement. That's
or
a good
something to be
one.
concerned about. But given his history, this is not someone who should have been using any
And then this
we don't know his
little
full
one, little
history,
short
but I
one
suspect
right
that he did something else
there.
that got him into
It
trouble,
goes up
because
above
in April
that.
of 2024, he was on Reddit asking people how to remove traces of drugs from his urine, presumably because he was getting drug tested. With his substance use mostly covered, another thing that Jesse made a lot of posts about was his gender dysphoria. Here's a post he made to the subreddit r/male to female. Hi, I kinda need help. I, male to female, 15 years old, am trying to get hormone replacement therapy for my transition. As of now, I have been on a 6-month wait list for visiting a specialist in Prince George for a month now. I am from British Columbia, Canada, and I live in a very rural area.
It's a little low for my liking. It's not centered. Actually, I'm just gonna leave it though. It's a little, you see the top gap is different than the bottom gap, but it lines up with the other sticker good enough that I'm gonna leave it. We then have these two, which I believe are for these back panels of his head, one on each side. I'm gonna take his head off. Yeah, there you go. Oh wait, no. They're for his legs. It's not for his head. I'm silly. Got confused there.
Was never into it before. The characters are always so cute. I don't want to be too.
Let me look at this picture again. Yeah, you can see on the picture it goes on his 2 little feet. So we'll get one on each foot.
obviously their chesticles. I'm super skinny, so that sometimes makes me feel kind of good, but I'm pre-HRT and my expectations are minimal for chest growth. And I'm 6 feet tall. Why can't I be petite
I
and
guess it
small?
really
At the
doesn't.
time this post was made, we only got a few replies from users of the sub. One of them gives him some places he can watch anime, and then says that he'll get over comparing himself with age and maturity. But in a bizarre turn of events, the post then got some significant traction outside of Reddit. A screenshot of it was shared to the Twitter account Males of Reddit, which is a page that compiles Reddit posts from trans people to make fun of them.
That is a good stick.
The tweet was then noticed by conservative commentator Matt Walsh, who decided to quote tweet it with the caption, "Hate to say I told you so."
Hopefully we can get this other one to be at least close. I'll use the gap to help set this one's gap. We got the pretty even top and bottom gap, but the top is a little smaller.
The post to his subreddit reads, Matt Walsh quote tweets account that posted a person's adult content without permission as a form of targeted harassment. That account has over 50,000 followers, and many of them are underage. As the political discussion spiraled away from Jesse himself, the underlying issue remained.
That's good.
He was someone who
We're happy with that.
was seriously mentally ill.
Foot,
Something people only knew the full extent of after the fact. As far as the internet's investigation went, besides Reddit, the Jesse Boy 347 alias was
now we got two more for his legs.
But then they found something far more.
And one goes on his back right here.
User of a forum dedicated to the sharing of not safe for life videos of people being hurt, deaths, things of that nature. I'm gonna avoid saying the name of this site as it has a lot of unsavory content on it, and I personally like having a YouTube channel. But one user on the forum section of the site discovered that Jesse had his account and began to post their findings. One of them was another YouTube channel.
This goes on his back. I think the circle ones are some of the hardest to place because if they're not centered just right, they look weird. That's as good as I'm gonna get with it, but they can be difficult, the circles. And then we got two more just for the front of his legs right here.
I'm gonna censor this person's face.
This one goes.
With that extremely weird video out of the way, there's some other information that came from this website. Photos from Jesse's account match the shooter's appearance, the firearm zone, as well as stickers on his paraphernalia that match his self-professed sexual orientation and his interest in
Alright.
Went through his account and archived his posts. It goes without saying that making an account on a website dedicated to
that one's actually not bad. It's okay. I'm gonna fix it though after this. And I'm gonna do this other one off of camera this long enough for my second video ever that I'm sure nobody's even gonna watch. But I'm trying to get to those 50 subs so I can do live streams. So if you would like to help me out, please subscribe. Thank you.